He told her this marriage was just business. Then he started bleeding for her. Roman DeLuca married Isabella Quinn to fix a problem, clean up a debt, protect his empire, keep appearances polished. But the moment rivals discovered he actually cared about the girl he bought, the game changed. Because in the Mafia world, love is not romantic. It is evidence. Evidence that you can be broken. Evidence that someone can be taken from you. And Roman was about to learn that loving Isabella might cost him everything.
Feels. You and I are about to watch an absolute train wreck unfold, guys. Isabella Quinn's story is 0% romance. We are talking guns and brutal family betrayal. Roman DeLuca, a literal syndicate boss, does not care about consent. Feels. He strips away her identity like it is nothing, treating her like a pure mafia asset. But look closely at her face, jaw clenched tight, no tears, no begging. She stares right back at the mobster, going straight into survival mode. Feels, silently vowing to outlive this man. To see how she survived, we gotta rewind to day one. Feels. Comment where you are watching from before things get crazy. Look at this dress. That gown costs more than her whole house. Pure silk and a massive red flag for the crime family she is sold to. It hangs there like a suffocating ghost. Feels. Isabella is frozen on her cheap bed, holding a garbage eviction notice. That piece of paper literally sealed her doom. 3 days left until she becomes Mrs. Roman DeLuca. Feels. Her life got completely sold off thanks to her dad's gambling and brother's screw-ups. Izzy? A voice snaps her back. Feels. Her 17-year-old brother Marcus is standing there, low-key panicking. His arm is in a sling. He is covered in fading bruises, totally wrecked by the mob's muscle. He asks how she is doing. Isabella fakes a smile. I am fine, she lies. Feels. Bro absolutely knows she is capping, and she knows it. Marcus locks the door like that will stop a mafia hit squad. He literally begs her to run. She shakes her head. You do not run from the syndicate. Instead, Feels. She lines up her eviction notice right next to her insane marriage contract. Feels. Fancy paper, black ink. Literal proof that Roman DeLuca owned her. Isabella knows the mafia. They keep their property locked down. Marcus is raging, sick of seeing his sister treated like an item. He starts trashing their dad, Feels, who dipped 2 weeks ago after trading his own daughter to clear his gambling tabs. Isabella is just dead inside. Part of her hopes the old man feels bad, but honestly doubt it. Marcus starts crying, drowning in guilt. Isabella hugs him, Feels, dodging his broken arm, telling him his wild mistakes were just him trying to protect Mom. Feels. She holds him, acting like this marriage is just family duty. When Marcus says Roman is a literal hitman, she plays tough. But guys, look at how she first met this mob boss. He's a fortress built to break your mind. 3 weeks ago, his goons dragged her in. She walks into this massive, terrifying room. Roman sits there like a statue against the bright light, his face hidden in shadows. He just lets the dead silence completely freak her out. Feels. The second they make eye contact, the brutal reality of the mob hits her. Roman DeLuca is ice cold. His custom suit is basically villain armor covering up some insane mob energy. When he glares at her, Isabella's heart goes crazy. Total cornered prey vibes. Feels. He tells her to sit, and bruh, it is not an option. He drops a massive folder on the desk like a weapon. He drops the bomb, 800 grand from her dad, plus 60 grand from her brother. Isabella shakes, saying they are broke. He does not blink. Feels. He just pushes his trap across the table. Feels. Then he pitches his insane way out, a contract that deletes her freedom. To wipe the debt, she must marry the Don for 36 months. The rules live with him. Play the happy wife, ignore the mafia stuff. She tells him he is straight up buying a human. He casually corrects her, calling it acquiring an asset. Absolute psycho behavior. He lists his reasons. Young, educated, clean record. She is not human to him, just a perfect resume. Feels. He needs her clean image to cover his bloody cartel business. When she asks about it, he shuts her down. Isabella's hands shake holding the contract. Trying to act tough, she asks what happens if she says no. Roman does not even yell. Feels. He calmly promises to break her brother's legs, toss her sick mom out, and hunt her dad. His heart rate stays totally flat. Play the mafia wife, or watch the family get destroyed. Pure legal blackmail, so she signed now. Feels. 3 days before the wedding, looking in her mirror, she looks completely different. Feels. The girl in the mirror is wrecked. Massive my bags, surviving entirely on black coffee and panic. She lost crazy weight stressing over due treats, ruining lives like a business deal. Suddenly, her phone buzzes. A text says a ride is coming at 10 no name. just a mafia demand dragging her into hell. Isabella hits the shower, letting boiling water burn her. She tries scrubbing off the gross feeling of being owned by a mobster, but no luck. At 10 a.m. sharp, the black SUV pulls up. Feels. The huge ride has bulletproof glass, cutting her off from the outside. The driver, some old mob enforcer named Vincent, tosses her bag in the back like garbage. Saying goodbye is straight up agonizing. Her mom is crying, feels, and Marcus looks ready to swing on somebody. Isabella fakes a massive smile, swearing she will call every day. When Marcus yells that Roman is going to hurt her, she promises she will be fine. Total cap, feels. She just needs to believe it so she does not pass out. As the SUV speeds away from her broke neighborhood toward the crazy city skyline, every second drags like crazy, feels. Looking out the tinted glass, she watches her broke life turn into insane mafia money. The trashy streets turn into skyscrapers, pulsing up to the DeLuca penthouse, a literal glass fortress. Vincent walks her past heavy security to the top floor, feels. The place is built to make you feel like a total nobody. Everything is just dead colors, black, white, and gray. It is basically a gorgeous, freezing tomb with zero human vibes. Suddenly, a harsh voice snaps, feels. Isabella spins around to see an older woman standing there like a seasoned prison inmate, feels. So, what do you and I make of this? Elena, the housekeeper, stands super stiff. Her vibe is surviving inside a mobster's den. Seeing Isabella's cheap clothes, a flash of pity hits her cold face. She walks Isabella to her new cage. The huge bedroom has a closet full of pre-bought outfits, totally wiping out her personality. This luxury is just meant to break her mind. She is just a bird locked inside a shiny mafia cage. Feels. Get a load of this scene. Holonica says dinner is at 7. Formal wear is mandatory. Isabella begs for any tea on the mobster who bought her, but the housekeeper just ghosts her. Sitting on that giant velvet bed, Isabella holds back tears. The dead silence is insanely heavy. At 6:30 sharp, heavy boots echo down the hall like a gavel. Roman DeLuca is home, dressed in black silk. Isabella is shaking, trying to breathe, totally terrified of this psycho trap. Feels. The whole vibe drops the second Roman walks in. He moves like a don who literally owns the city. Spotting her, he looks surprised for half a second before tossing his jacket. We are getting married. Use my name. She just nods, totally frozen. Pouring a glass of whiskey, he drops a cold, we will eat. The dining room is just dripping with toxic mob energy. Elena serves this perfect meal, but Isabella is way too terrified to even swallow her food. Feels. She can feel him staring holes into her. You settled in, he asks. Yes, good. He slices his food like an absolute psycho, treating dinner like a mob meeting. 200 guests, mostly cartel associates. You will smile, greet them, and stay by my side. Okay, we will host a reception here. It will run late. You need stamina. Desperation finally makes her ask the real question about this sick deal. Can I ask you something? Depends on the question. Why me? Feels. The reasons are in the terms. That is not what I mean, she pushes back. You are rich and powerful. You could get anyone. Why buy a wife you do not even want? His voice drops. Who said I do not want you? Boom, that plot twist hits her. You said this was business. It is, he replies. You are useful, Isabella. You will help me fake a clean image. What I want does not matter. He walks out, leaving her totally stranded. Stick around, guys, because this mafia drama is just getting started, feels. All right, guys, let's jump right in. Isabella is literally losing her mind over this mafia contract. 2 in the morning, she ghosts into the kitchen and spots the boss himself, Roman, chilling with a whiskey. Can't sleep? He asks. Isabella stammers no, totally faking that normal wifey vibe, feels. I don't sleep, he flexes. The tension is crazy. He tells her not to be nervous since it is all just an act. But Isabella snaps back, for me this is my actual life. Roman clenches his jaw, acting offended. For a split second, this ruthless Don actually looks hurt. She asks why it feels like a punishment then. Feels. He gets right in her face and drops a massive riddle, saying she is being punished, just not by him. Talk about a plot twist. He tells her to sleep, then boom, cut to the wedding. Flashing cameras everywhere. She is dead inside, whispering vows to the literal mobster who just bought her soul, feels. Putting that ring on is basically slapping handcuffs on a prisoner. Their cold kiss is strictly business. The reception is a total VIP nightmare. Roman is super possessive, parading her around the elite like a shiny new trophy. Everyone claps for the fake romance, while Isabella smiles through the sheer agony until past midnight. Feels. The second they are alone, the penthouse gets brutally awkward. Roman pours a drink and praises her acting. You were convincing, he says. She claps back that he was too. He questions that, staring her down. She is trapped in a crazy, expensive dress, chained to this ruthless kingpin, completely drowning in despair. Heals. She tries to bail, but Roman steps up and orders her to take off the dress. Absolute panic mode. She reminds him this is strictly business. His eyes go dead cold as he drops a massive bomb. You mean nothing to me. This cruel is a calculated mind game to completely shatter her confidence. Isabella just freezes in shock. Heals. His stare is completely empty. She calls him a total jerk, and he just agrees. She totally breaks down. Crying in the hallway, week one is absolutely brutal. The boss acts polite, but ghosts her emotionally. They eat fancy dinners together, but the silence is heavy enough to crush a truck. Total toxic vibes. Heals. Isabella is literally trapped in this mansion like a hostage. She is forced to lie to her mom on the phone to protect this mobster's dirty secrets. By day 8, she finds a secret library to hide out in. That is exactly where Roman catches her. She is curled up in her pajamas, looking incredibly helpless and soft in the light. Heals. He calls the mansion her home, but she fires back that it does not feel like it. Roman looks massively stressed. She asks if he had a rough day, but he instantly shuts her down. Staring at the city, he completely bottles his mob demons. He randomly asks what she reads. She says fiction, anything to escape this insane reality. Heals. For 1 second, these two broken souls actually connect over wanting an escape. Then Isabella goes rogue. She demands the real reason he married her, calling his bluff on the whole business excuse. Bosses like him do not need fake wives. Notice this epic confrontation right here. She is desperately searching his cold eyes, begging for the actual plot twist. Heals. He instantly locks down, warning her not to dig into things she cannot handle. Savage. By week 2, this toxic romance levels up. A white rose appears by her bed. His dark stare tracks her everywhere. They are completely locked in this crazy mind game, slowly giving in to the twisted tension of their luxury VIP prison. Heals. Things go downhill fast. Isabella is completely wrecked after dealing with her mom's financial panic. Roman spots it and demands answers. She spills the tea. Her mom is terrified this mafia kingpin will want blood for rent money. Because in this mob world, zero favors come for free. Someone always pays the price. Deals. Roman pulls a total mafia flex. He mocks prep as some sweet favor. The dude's clinical words mixed with his soft voice leave Isabella absolutely stunned. She lies awake, totally romanticizing this insane cage. But week 3 hits, and the brutal mob reality crashes the party. At 2 in the morning, the door rips open. Roman is standing right there, his head literally dripping blood while grabbing his smashed ribs. Heals. Isabella is wide awake, totally wired. Seeing his bloody face in the moonlight, she absolutely panics and drops her. What happened? She gasps. Roman just gives her dead silence. When she reaches out to check his wounds, his hands snaps up and locks onto her wrist with pure mobster muscle. Do not, he growls, rejecting her help. But even shaking with terror, this girl absolutely refuses to back down. Heals. She calls out his monster vibes, claiming she knows he is a predator, but her urge to fix him proves he holds a massive grip on her. Roman backs away like a wounded lone wolf. He warns her she knows nothing about his true nature. Shutting her out completely, he orders her to bed. She stands frozen, heart racing, totally shocked by her own defiance. Heals. Stick with me, this gets wild. By dawn, Roman ghosts her, leaving only a receipt showing he paid her mom's rent for 3 whole years. Talk about a golden chain to trap her. Isabella gets sucked right into this fatal trauma bond. Desperate for answers about her captor, she starts pushing the limits of the penthouse. She finds his locked study, and using her street smarts, she completely picks the lock. Heals. Let's step into the Dawn's secret vault together. The door opens to an insane shrine of Mafia ledgers. Pushing her luck, Isabella digs through mob files until she hits the ultimate plot twist. A photo of a smiling woman, signed Forever Roman. Boom. The floor drops. You can literally feel his massive grief haunting the room. Digging deeper, she uncovers a stack of old love letters. Heals. The letters are tragic confessions from a girl named Caroline. The final page is a guilty farewell, begging for forgiveness. Isabella hides the stash and bails. She totally starts psychoanalyzing the boss. Roman went full ruthless monster just to survive a broken heart. Tragically, our trapped heroine now views this cold-blooded mafia killer as a broken victim who desperately needs saving. Heals. She totally excuses his mob violence as emotional armor. When the crime lord walks in that night, He actually hezes him tea, trying to tame the beast. Surprisingly, he accepts. Sitting in heavy silence, her panic finally fades. She genuinely thanks him for saving her mom. And guys, a tiny smile actually breaks Roman's hardcore gangster facade. Feels. Guys, picture this.
Isabella takes the blame for pushing him, and plot twist.
Roman actually drops his guard and owns up to his mess. She pokes fun at him and he just nods. Underneath that ruthless mob boss exterior. Right then, the dynamic flips. Isabella is suddenly catching feelings for the most dangerous guy in the room. The ice is officially melting. But let's be real. This is not some cute romance. It is a toxic spiral dragging them to the edge. Feels. Everything shifts now. Roman stops lurking in the dark at home, and Isabella finally sees the massive burnout crushing this guy. Thanks to their insomnia, they fall into this weird morning routine. One day, she strolls into the kitchen, Feels. Catching him glaring at encrypted cartel files, stressed out of his mind. She just sits there, keeping him company. Boom, the untouchable Don lets her into his inner circle. Fast forward a month, Feels, and eating breakfast at 7 Flat becomes their daily escape from the Mafia chaos. Feels. They barely speak, but the vibe is shockingly chill. Isabella watches him like a hawk. She clocks the food he hates, how he scans the news for hitmen, and that old scar. Then she catches his nervous tick, rubbing his wedding ring. Did he do that when Caroline was around? Isabella bites her tongue. She is still hiding the secret of those dead wife letters, completely terrified that spilling the beans will trigger a massive mob vendetta. Feels. Here's where things get crazy. She looks at this cold-blooded hitman and only sees a sad widower, totally ignoring the giant red flags. Suddenly, the boss orders her to some elite gala, playing her like a chess piece. His crew even picks her outfit. Then, the whole mood flips. Staring right into her soul, he gets her heart hammering. He drops his voice, warning her that these savage, rich snobs will chew her up and spit her out. Feels. He actually gives her an out, showing a rare flash of a heart. But she bosses up, swearing she can handle it. Tension just melts off his back. What will you do? Break their kneecaps? She jokes. Boom, he hits her with this wicked, dangerous smirk. Isabella starts cracking up, and for one crazy second, the ice between them completely shatters. Then his phone rings out of nowhere, dragging them right back to their brutal mafia reality. Feels. Watch the boss build his walls right back up. He takes the call and morphs back into the ruthless Don. Isabella walks off, feeling his heavy predator stare burning her back. This museum gala is her first taste of the real underworld. Stolen art and rich sharks in custom suits. This is no lame party. It is a mafia empire playing dress-up, where smiles are literal weapons. Soon, Roman's enforcer Elena zips her into a dress worth millions. Feels. The green silk clings tight, basically throwing her to the wolves. She tries to back out, but Elena locks the trap. You are Mrs. DeLuca now, she snaps. You represent him. Act like it. Feels. Isabella straps on killer heels and massive diamonds that feel like actual chains. She struts into the ballroom on Roman's arm, faking the ultimate smile. Roman parades her right past dirty politicians and bought-out judges. Their nasty glares scream, Feels. Why did the kingpin pick a street kid from Queens? Ice cannot hide her truth. Feels. You are doing great, Roman whispers right in her ear. I feel like a fake. You were born into this. Roman's eyes go pitch black. I was not born into anything. I built this empire with my bare hands. Before things blow up, a silver-haired guy in a tux crashes their vibe. A total political snake. Roman, the guy beams. Roman crushes his hand. Senator, the creep looks Isabella up and down. And this must be the bride. Congratulations, Mrs. DeLuca. Feels. Thanks, Isabella whispers. How did you two meet? The senator snoops, totally setting a trap. I have never seen you around. Through family, Isabella lies straight to his face. It was unexpected. The best things are. The senator smirks at Roman. Feels. You a no, Roman mutters. He slides his massive hand onto her lower back, claiming his territory hard. Excuse us, Senator. Roman barks, dragging her away. Once they are clear, Isabella immediately drops the act. Feels. That guy is an absolute creep. Feels. Let's break down this high society snake pit together. He takes bribes like a side hustle. Roman mutters, I'm useful. You do business with guys like that? Isabella gags. I use whoever I need. Before she can even process that, this lady covered in diamonds intercepts them, eyeing Isabella like total garbage. Roman, darling, she purrs. I had no idea you brought a date. My wife. Roman shuts her down cold. Isabella, meet Margaret. She runs this whole event. Feels. Margaret smiles with absolute venom in her eyes. Wife? Shocker. I thought you quit marriage after. She stops, dropping that toxic pause just to twist the knife. Well, congratulations. Roman turns into a literal statue. Feels. He grips Isabella's waist so hard it leaves a mark. Total trauma response. Trying to save the vibe, Isabella jumps in. The gala is stunning. Margaret snaps her cold eyes over, hunting for blood. Thanks. And what exactly do you do, honey? Total setup. Feels. One wrong word here means absolute social execution. Feels. I am keeping my options open. Isabella plays it smart. How modern. Margaret smiles like a shark. Roman's first beloved charity. Cancer research. Such a massive tragedy. Roman literally stops breathing. Isabella's heart is pounding. Feels. But her poker face is locked in. I bet she was amazing. She was. We figured Roman was done for, but here you are. Margaret feeds on the drama. Life moves fast, right? Excuse us, Roman snarls, sounding like pure ice. Feels. He yanks Isabella away so hard she almost snaps her ankles. Feels. They bolt to the bar. Roman chugs a whiskey in one shot. I am sorry, Isabella whispers. For what? Margaret is a snake. It is her brand. Roman smashes his glass down, seconds away from snapping. I need air. He ditches her. 20 minutes pass. She finds him outside in the pitch black. The dawn is having a full meltdown. He feels her standing there. You did not have to follow me, he mutters. I know. Feels. So, how do you and I rate this epic showdown? Then why did you? Isabella steps up, poking the bear. Because you look like you needed someone. I do not need anyone. Bullshit. Boom. That one word nukes his defenses. Roman spins around, totally shocked. Feels. Excuse me? You heard me. You claim this fake marriage means nothing. That I am just a business deal. But I see the real you, Roman. The secret white roses. The way you freeze when she is mentioned. His jaw locks up. Stop. Why? Because I am right. Feels. Running on adrenaline, she jabs right into his trauma. Feels. Losing Caroline destroyed you. You built walls and faked being tough. Bought a wife and called it business. But the grow idea what you were saying. Prove me wrong. Total dead silence. Roman's eyes go pitch black with trauma. When the boss finally breaks, it is brutal. She ended her own life. Bam, the plot twist hits. Sick, he admits, spilling 5 years of buried agony. Feels. Stage 4 cancer. 6 months left. She took pills while I was at work. Found her too late. Isabella gasps, realizing his massive survivor's guilt. Roman left a letter. Said she loved me, but was done fighting. He lets out a broken laugh. 5 years of pure torture, wondering if staying home would have saved her. It was not your fault. You do not know that. Yeah, I actually do. Feels. Isabella actually grabs his hand. A wild move. People make their own choices, she says. The mob boss is totally stunned. After she died, I went numb, he admits. Pushed the syndicate just to feel something. Then your dad's debt popped up. It gave me a fix, just to prove he was still the boss. His tough guy X shatters. I am sorry. You deserved way better. Feels. Look at this, guys. Is she actually catching feelings? Or just surviving this crazy mafia lockdown? I am bandaged does not call your bluff. She squeezes his hand. I knew the deal. You are no monster, Roman. Just a bleeding guy who forgot how to heal. He is totally speechless. How are you this okay? He asks. I am terrified, but I am surviving. Like you. The mob boss's tough guy routine starts to seriously crack. Feels. The kingpin drops the act, looking absolutely rare. We should go back inside, he murmurs. People will talk, she says. Roman stares at her lips. For once, fake marriage turns dangerously real. Then, boom, his phone buzzes. He checks it and goes, Nino, it's cold. We need to leave right now. When she asks why, he snaps, I will tell you in the car. Just like that, the ruthless mafia boss is back in charge. Feels. Stick with me here. This twist is wild. In the car, Roman barks orders. A syndicate warehouse just hit. A literal bloodbath. For the first time, this guy looks panicked. He realizes his enemies can target his new wife to ruin him. So what does he do? He locks her up. He throws her in the penthouse, ignores her screaming, and posts guards everywhere. You should be terrified, he snaps, weaponizing fear to protect his turf. Feels. He blames the rival gangs. They would love to butcher her just to mess with his head, but his voice totally cracks. Roman finally spits out the truth. She means way too much to him now. That massive confession blows up his whole tough guy vibe. Before Isabella can even blink, the car stops. Roman grabs her tight and marches her inside like a total maniac, ready to commit absolute treason just to keep her breathing. Feels. The elevator ride is terrifyingly quiet. Inside, Roman checks every single corner like a crazy person. This is not romantic, this is pure trauma. He paces around mumbling security rules. When Isabella says she is fine, the big bad boss completely breaks down. He yells that he cannot survive burying another wife. Seeing this, an underworld giant cry literally breaks her heart. Throwing caution out the window, she hugs him, giving him the one thing he desperately needs: heals. Roman freezes, then buries his face in her shoulder, holding on for dear life. Isabella makes a huge mistake here. She starts trusting the guy. By morning, his walls are totally back up. Roman ghosts her, leaving a text ordering her to stay put. Isabella is absolutely furious. Downstairs, the maid just watches her pace around. Isabella is literally trapped in a massive, expensive cage. Heals. The vibes are super dark as Isabella begs the maid to let her out. But the old lady will not budge. Her silence is bought and paid for by Roman's Mafia money. Desperate, Isabella switches gears and demands to know about Caroline. The maid physically flinches. Isabella pushes harder, her voice shaking because she is sick of competing with a literal flawless ghost. Heals. The maid spills the tea. Caroline basically ruined herself trying to fix Roman's trauma. But a mobster only knows how to possess things. After she died, he went totally cold. Isabella realizes she is just his brand new obsession. The maid drops a heavy warning. Loving Roman means getting destroyed in the crossfire. He ruins everything he touches, and Isabella is standing right in the blast zone. Heals. Cut to the library. Isabella is stressing out when Roman stomps in. He looks completely dead inside, and his suit is covered in blood. "Not my blood," he says with a straight face. He steps into the light and promises she is safe. She calls Cap. For a split second, a real smile hits his face. Sucked into his crazy world, her shaky hands reach up to fix his collar. The mob boss instantly freezes up. Heals. She literally thanks him for his brutal Mafia protection. Roman looks away, acting like it is just his job. But look at his eyes, he is desperate to drop the tough guy act. Instead, he just touches her hand and tells her to sleep. Both of them know he is going to stay up fighting demons tonight. Walking back, Isabella realizes something insane. She is actually falling hard for the guy keeping her hostage. Heals. She is totally romanticizing a villain who uses power to hide his pain. It keeps her up all night. But to survive this mobster thriller, she has to play it smart. Dropping the scared act, she starts studying his crime family. She watches the guards, figuring out who runs what in this crazy syndicate. Her eyes lock in, analyzing every single secret and betrayal hiding in the shadows of his turf. Heals. Let's zoom out to the massive scale of his crimes. His charming smile hides the insane violence he uses to stay on top. These recent attacks are soul-testing his gang. Isabella corners him and demands names. Roman instantly shuts down, putting his emotional walls back up. He coldly warns her that his deadly underworld is absolutely no place for his new wife. Heals. Isabella refuses to back down, screaming that her life is on the line. Roman watches her, calculating her next move. He casually admits his throne attracts enemies, acting like the danger is no big deal. His chill attitude totally freaks her out. He actually is thinking her panic means she is head over heels for him. She snaps back, throwing a glass across the room. Boom. Then the ruthless boss lets out a totally genuine laugh. Heals. That real laugh catches her off guard. He immediately swallows it down, but the damage is done. Their crazy bond is official. Later, totally losing her mind in that giant house, she breaks into his private study. She claims she is looking for clues, but honestly, she is incredibly jealous of Caroline. She finds a drawer full of old letters. Reading the dead wife's secrets feels like a massive, unforgivable betrayal. Heals. These old pages show a flawless woman trying to save a monster. But the suicide note. Caroline wrote it sobbing, terrified of the guilt Roman would carry. She took her own life to stop the clock, choosing to stay his perfect angel instead of getting sick. She completely deleted herself from the story, thinking a sudden heartbreak was way better than making him watch her slowly fade away. Heals. Her note begs him not to let the darkness win. Isabella drops the paper. Boom, the massive plot twist clicks. The crime syndicate, the lockdown. It is not about power at all. It is a crazy shield so he never gets abandoned again. You and I need to appreciate this scene. The room goes ice cold there. Did you find what you wanted? He asks. His eyes are dead, but a storm is brewing. Heals. The emotional fallout is totally wild. Isabella breaks down, begging for mercy. She cries that she never should have snooped. Roman steps up and picks the paper up like it is a ticking time bomb. But I expected this, he says super quietly. He knows she was just trying to figure out his crazy mind. He sets it down. Caroline thought dying would save me, he says. Instead, finding her body left him permanently scarred. His love could not save her. Feels. The tragedy of his trauma hits hard here. Bro swore he would never be weak again. He built a massive mafia boss persona, pure ruthless authority, a cold business heart. This marriage was strictly a cold business deal. But Isabella rules, scream right back, smashes face plates. She breaks it and totally disrupts his dark world. Stepping closer, the Don is literally panicking. His iron armor is shattering, and the big bad boss is officially catching feelings. He straight up admits he is terrified. For a ruthless mob boss, catching feelings is like putting a loaded gun to his head. It is such a raw confession. Isabella reaches out, comforting her own captor. "We will figure this out," she whispers. Roman shakes his head, convinced he will ruin her life. Then we crash together, she fires back, ignoring her own survival instincts. Roman is absolutely stunned. He yanks her close, calling her a fatal mistake, and she just smiles. Boom, every single wall Roman built just collapses. He pulls her in, trading their fake marriage vibe for an insanely frantic kiss. Isabella. He rests his heart hammering out of her chest. They both know this is a massive toxic disaster waiting to happen. Neither is ready for drama this heavy. But she is diving in anyway. Staring right into the crime boss's eyes, she whispers yes. She is fully ready to fall. All right, guys, you and I both know how these dark mafia stories work. One kiss does not cure a deeply traumatized mobster, and Isabella is not getting a Disney ending. But check out this insane shift. Roman is still running a ruthless criminal empire and battling heavy demons every night. But when he gets home, he literally hunts for her. Whether she is reading or just sitting, this absolute menace of a boss needs her nearby. He just sits there, using her quiet presence to keep himself from completely losing his mind. All that toxic tension turns into this crazy, quiet dependency. They are no longer strangers stuck in an arranged marriage. They are two broken souls sharing the same chaotic space. He keeps sending white roses and she stops pretending she doesn't care. A week after that intense kiss, she hits the kitchen before sunrise. The Don looks wrecked, still rocking yesterday's suit with massive bags under his eyes. She quietly asks about his night. His jaw finally relaxes. Rough, he grunts. She offers to listen, but he brushes it off. Yet as she stands there, he pours her a coffee, a totally unspoken truce. They sip coffee in total silence. Isabella is basically reading his mind now, noticing the insane stress in his shoulders and the panic in his eyes. The guy is practically vibrating with anxiety today. Mafia bosses never show fear, so seeing him this terrified makes her stomach drop. She demands answers. He tries to play it cool, desperately trying to keep his boss persona intact. But she pushes back hard. His tough guy act completely crumbles. Roman admits enemy syndicates are snooping around her past and their sudden marriage. Absolute panic sets in. The brutal mob reality is literally kicking their front door down. Roman looks absolutely terrified, begging her to stay on guard. Isabella reminds him she has been locked inside this massive fortress for 2 months straight. But the Don is seriously spooked. He warns her not to trust anyone. Not even the staff inside the mansion. "Tell me absolutely everything," he demands. She tells him he is totally freaking her out. He just nods, saying she needs to be scared. His hand is literally shaking as he grabs hers, desperate for an anchor. He confesses he cannot handle her getting hurt, a fatal weakness for a mob boss. Isabella holds tight, promising she isn't going anywhere. "You might not get a choice," he whispers. She asks what that means, but Roman fades into the shadows, telling her to stay safe before dipping out. Massive dread hits Isabella. Hours drag by. Later, Elena catches her spacing out by the penthouse windows. Elena asks what is bothering her, and Isabella forces a laugh. Then, Elena drops a truth bomb, pointing out how insanely terrified the boss is of losing her. Isabella tries brushing it off as standard mob paranoia, but Elena shuts that down completely. In 6 years, she has never seen the Don this panicked, not even with Caroline. Isabella freezes. Caroline was his everything, but she was fragile. Roman kept Caroline in a perfect bubble away from mob violence. With Isabella, Bro does the exact opposite. Elena points out the wild irony. He is dragging Isabella into the gang war, needing her nearby while desperately trying to push her away. It is an absolute train wreck waiting to happen. Then Elena delivers the ultimate truth. Soon, the Don must pick between his crime family and the woman he loves, and it will break him. That messes with Isabella's head all day. Hours later, Roman stumbles inside. His hands are covered in blood, and his dead eyes make Isabella freeze completely. He goes into the bathroom silently. Isabella paces, stressing out for 2 hours before opening the door. Under the lights, his hands shake as he aggressively scrubs the blood off. His ruined shirt hits the floor, revealing brutal purple bruises across his ribs. She gasps and steps in to help. Roman looks up, stunned, telling her to run from his toxic life. She knows he is right, but she just can't leave. Grabbing a towel, she wipes the violence off his skin, fighting tears to care for this absolutely broken man. The cuts look nasty, and he flinches the second she cleans them. She apologizes, but Roman waves it off. When she begs to know what happened, Bro tries to put his Mafia walls back up, but seeing her face, he totally folds. A rival family put his enforcer in the hospital as a threat, so Roman retaliated with pure unhinged violence. He mutters he had to protect his crew. Normally, a red flag this massive makes anyone sprint for the hills. Instead, it just pulls Isabella deeper into his chaos. Wiping his chest, he sharply inhales, and she instantly pulls her hands back. Okay, pause. You and I need to appreciate how crazy this dynamic is. She apologizes, but he swears her touch is the only thing keeping him grounded. They lock eyes in the mirror, and the tension is absolutely insane. You can literally feel the danger. He grunts her name, begging her to escape while she can. She asks why, and his voice actually breaks. The boss admits he is losing his mind. Any normal person would bolt, but Isabella is committed to the drama. She looks at this walking red flag and asks what happens if she refuses. Boom. His last wall shatters. He pulls her in with desperate need, and she dives back into the madness. Look at this, guys. This isn't some fluffy romance. It is two completely broken souls crashing together. He pins her to the tile, but she anchors him right back. She feels his racing heart, the caged violence he needs to survive the mob. When they finally catch their breath, Roman rests his forehead on hers. He whispers they are going to destroy each other. She already knows. He begs her to wake up, but she is way beyond caring. Roman stares into her eyes with insane intensity. Then he drops the ultimate tragic confession. He is a monster, and ruining things is his only legacy. Watch Isabella step up here. She begs him to realize his massive fear of hurting her proves he won't. Roman just drops a hollow laugh. He backs into the shadows, throwing his boss armor back on, claiming she will never understand the underworld. But when Isabella screams she is done being treated like glass, Roman completely loses it. His voice cracks. He swears his lies are the only things keeping the wolves away. Bro genuinely believes that hiding the truth is the only way she survives this chaotic life. Picture this. Roman is pacing like a caged beast, confessing he's pure poison. He spills the dark backstory of his ex Caroline, who completely cracked under the Mafia lifestyle while he stood by helplessly. But get this. Isabella drops the anger and totally refuses to play the victim. She looks this Mafia boss in the eyes and says, "I am not Caroline." She demands the right to pick her own poison. Roman stares at her, terrified his right-hand girl is a ticking time bomb. But Isabella? Stone cold. She's totally down to burn down this crime empire as long as she holds the match. Roman closes the gap in a heartbeat. He grabs her face, planting a heavy kiss like it's his last meal. He actually admits it. He cares about her. And for a mobster, that feeling is straight up terrifying. But Isabella doesn't flinch. She leans into the madness, fully accepting this twisted Mafia romance. This night flips the whole script. They finally share a bed. Morning hits hard, his scent still on the sheets. Panic spikes in her chest for a hot second, but remembering their crazy bond brings her right back down to earth. The pieces are clicking together. No spicy scenes here, just raw survival. He carried her because neither could handle the darkness alone. He held on for dear life, spilling his guts about a childhood soaked in blood. He told her exactly why he had to overthrow his tyrant father, dropping heavy generational trauma right in her lap. Just listened. No questions asked. Right before dawn, the big bad boss admits he's totally broken, and she just pulls him closer. But plot twist, when she reaches over the mattress the next morning, his side is freezing cold. He left a note saying the room belongs to her. Isabella actually smiles, throwing on his massive shirt before heading downstairs. Lena catches her in the kitchen with that knowing look. Isabella plays it cool, but Elena's just thrilled someone's finally saving Roman from drowning. Isabella jokes the dude seriously needs therapy, and for a second it feels like a normal, happy family feels. But that cute little illusion shatters into a million pieces the second Roman kicks down the door at sunset. He walks in, dragging the absolute freezing dread of the criminal underworld right behind him. Feels. Zero hellos, just pure sweating panic that sends Isabella's heart into overdrive. The ultimate boss is awake. Roman's father wants a meet and greet. Roman's wound up like a spring, pacing around. Feels. He says the old man's hiding upstate, but still pulling all the syndicate strings. Isabella tries to use logic, clueless to the total nightmare she's in. Roman downs a drink and describes a monster who built a mob empire on pure violence. Feels. Then comes the ultimate shocker. If his dad thinks she's weak, she gets a bullet. That deadpan threat turns her blood to ice. Feels. Let's pause and look at this insane power shift, guys. Roman is genuinely terrified. He describes his dad as an absolute psycho who cares zero about human life. If this Don thinks Isabella is slowing Roman down, she gets erased permanently. Feels. When she asks how bad it is, Roman says, "Lock up your soul. The old boss is coming to break her mind." Isabella literally collapses into a chair. The dinner is tomorrow. Monsters don't send invites. They just crash the party. Roman drops to his knees, feels, staring her down to make sure she grasps this life or death vendetta. Feels. He begs to totally disappear. She has to fake being a cold-blooded mafia wife and shut down her feelings. Roman locks his own emotions away, demanding she match his energy. Her brain is screaming to bail on this suicide run, but seeing him this panicked makes her stay. Talk about a crazy trauma bond. She promises to act the part. He grabs her hand to seal the deal. Nobody sleeps that night. She just stares at the ceiling, waiting for the big bad wolf, knowing one tiny slip-up means an instant game over. Feels. It's 2 a.m, and the silence pushes her into the library. Roman's already hiding in the shadows, stressed out of his mind. Just the thought of his dad showing up ruins any chance of sleep. They sit in the heavy quiet. Feels. When she finally asks for the plan, Roman looks wrecked. He admits his dad is the exact villain he almost became, a ruthless guy who sees people purely as weapons. The old boss taught Roman that falling in love gets you killed. Feels. Roman believed that garbage until his ex broke the curse and saved him. Feels. Caroline proved you can be tough without losing your humanity. But after she died, the boss twisted the knife. He used Roman's grief against him, claiming her soft heart got her buried. Isabella is completely disgusted by how twisted this guy is. Feels. Roman warns her the psychological warfare is about to go crazy. His dad will break her mind just to see if she survives the underworld. Roman's own life depends on her acting skills. Trying to lighten the mood, Feels. She jokes that surviving Roman was practice enough. But he just stares back, looking totally destroyed. Feels. He whispers that she barely made it out alive. She tries another joke, but he's completely paralyzed by fear. He hugs her tight in the shadows, bracing for impact. Feels. Roman is sweating bullets, pacing around checking the locks like a trapped beast. Then boom, 6 o'clock hits and the final boss enters the chat. Isabella's hands are literally shaking as she walks into that massive hall. Guys, Feels. This is it, the exact moment we see where Roman gets his terrifying mafia aura. Enter Vincent Sr. He is rocking his 60s like a total menace, dripping with pure dawn energy. He has Roman's jawline, but his eyes? Completely dead. Feels. Absolute lizard vibes. Roman stays stiff during the intro. The old man just slowly turns and sizes Isabella up. But get this, he does not even see a person. To this syndicate mastermind, she is just a bargaining chip. Feels. He is already doing the math on how much blood money she is worth. Feels. The boss's voice is totally smooth but extremely deadly. He tells her to step up. Every instinct is screaming at Isabella to run away, but she locks eyes with him and goes for a handshake. He just leaves her hanging. Absolute dead silence. Feels. This is a classic mob power play right here. He stares her down, hunting for even a hint of fear. He straight up roasts her for being young, treating her like a clueless kid, and asks where she came from. Isabella drops her fake cover story like a pro. Feels. No hesitation. The old boss gives this creepy smirk that does not reach his eyes. Then he interrogates her background, making her admit her parents are just regular civilians working normal 9-to-5 jobs. Feels. The mind games here are insane. He finally grabs her hand, crushing it just enough to sting, and asks if her regular parents support the mafia lifestyle. Isabella sees the bait instantly. She plays it cool, Feels, giving some generic answer about family loyalty. The Don tosses her hand away and actually laughs at Roman, saying she is trained well. He is basically calling her a dog. Roman clenches his jaw and quietly reminds his dad that she is actually human. Feels. The old man just brushes it off like whatever. What happens next is straight up the most stressful dinner ever. Absolute torture. Vincent grills her about school and her daily routine, trying to figure out what she knows about their crime family. Feels, waiting for her to slip up. Feels. Hold up, let's break down this insane tension. Isabella is holding her breath, and Roman is literally shaking next to her. The boss whispers that she is way too calm, and most people would be terrified. She just asks if she should be. Feels. He says most would think so, and she drops the coldest line. I'm not most women. Notice how the boss glares at her right here. She's slowly cutting his steak like an absolute psycho. Then he springs the ultimate trap. Feels. He asks what she thinks of Roman's underground empire. Without flinching, she calls it a tragic masterpiece. He asks what it is built on. Her response? The pure agony of hard choices. Just wow. Feels. Let's jump into this absolute mess, guys. You accept his ruthless violence. The old king pushes. Isabella snaps back. Brave or foolish, the boss laughs, loving the drama. She had spirit, better than his last girl. Roman's jaw locks up, heels, his mobster mask cracking under the trauma. Stop! He growls. Caroline broke. This one might survive. I said stop, Roman barks, looking completely gutted. Struck a nerve, the old man smirks. Look at this guy, feels, literally feeding on his own son's emotional ruin. Feels. Good. Means you remember what happens when romance blinds ambition. Isabella is shaking, grabbing Roman's arm like he's a lifeline in this toxic room. With respect, Mr. DeLuca, she fires back. His vision works. He took your kingdom and built an empire. That takes more than cruelty. It takes a soul. The old man goes ice cold. Are you preaching to me, girl? I'm telling the truth. The boss actually chuckles, loving her absolute nerve. You have a spark. Maybe you won't drown in our mess after all. Feels. Then the mind games drop. Study. Now. Roman squeezes her hand, basically apologizing for the absolute nightmare about to happen, and follows his dad. Alone, Isabella completely falls apart. Elena steps out of nowhere. You held your own. Feels. I felt like dying. But you survived. Isabella stares at those heavy doors. What is he doing to him? Elena grabs the glasses, looking dead inside. The devil doesn't visit just to eat. He came for blood. Whose? Elena just bows her head. Feels. Talk about chilling vibes. Feels. 20 brutal minutes pass before screaming shakes the walls.
Isabella sneaks down the hall like she wants to get caught.
This isn't your call.
Roman roars, fighting for his life.
I built this kingdom. You just sit there. I turned your street gang into a dynasty. I married her like you wanted. The dad drops his voice, hitting Roman right where it hurts. I said find someone who could survive our sins. Not a fragile girl you actually love. Dead silence. Get out. Feels. Excuse me? You heard me. Leave my house. The dad flexes total cruelty here. Every piece of you is mine. Then take it. Roman sounds like ice, rejecting his control. Take the penthouse, the family, burn it all down. Feels. But you'll never dictate who I love. Boom, the doors fly open. Vincent Sr. steps out and catches Isabella hiding. He drops the biggest warning of the entire story. Cherish this romance, little bird. Monsters like my boy never stay gentle. Eventually, Feels, he'll remember his blood and he'll shatter you. Feels. Roman stumbles out looking like a totally broken king. Seeing Isabella, his tough mafia armor just melts. I'm so sorry, he whispers, for dragging you into my hell. She hugs the guy who completely wrecked her normal life, totally defeated by his feelings. You fought him for me, she breathes. Always for you. He'll make you bleed. Let him. But while they hug, she can feel him shaking. They just poked the biggest bear in the underworld, and the payback will be insane. Feels. Pure dread right here. Izzle penthouse. Roman walks in looking absolutely wrecked, dark bags under his eyes. We need to talk. Father's moving against me, rallying the families, saying love made me soft. Can he do that? If they listen, yes. He takes my crown. The entire syndicate, every piece. Roman looks at her like a doomed anti-hero. He's framing you as my downfall, telling the streets I picked my heart over blood, and my humanity makes me weak. Feels. Stick with me, because here's the ultimate plot twist. Where does that leave us? Isabella asks. The hour has come, Roman confesses, looking grim. The crown, or you, the stakes are prove you mean nothing. If I keep the throne, my dad takes over and my people burn. Isabella realizes the old man's twisted genius. Roman, that's an execution, not a choice. He paces the dark room, looking completely trapped like a caged wolf in his penthouse. Feels. I'm tearing apart. For the first time ever, I love someone more than power, and it's killing me. The weight of this is heavy, and Isabella steps up. I refuse to be the reason you fall. I'll vanish tonight. We'll say I was too weak for the mob. Never. Roman grabs her, his crazy obsession making him completely blind. I won't give you to him. Then how do we survive? He crushes her against his chest. Two doomed lovers drowning in their fatal romance. Feels. I don't know, but we'll fight this together. Hearing his racing heart, it hits her. Blood is going to spill, and it'll probably be hers. The next 7 days play out like a slow walk to death row. We watch Roman absolutely spiral into chaos. Isabella watched from the sidelines as he stays up until dawn, screaming threats, bleeding just to keep rival gangs loyal. The weight of the Mafia underworld is stripping the mob boss down to the bone, completely breaking his mind night after sleepless night. Feels. He's totally locking his emotions away just to survive. I have to fly to Chicago, Roman mutters, looking like a ghost. 3 days, meeting the Western factions. If I get their loyalty, the old man can't strike. Vincent stays guarding you. Feels. I'm doubling the guards downstairs. Roman, I'll be safe. You can't promise that. My dad's cornered, and cornered predators do nasty things. In this super heartbreaking moment, Isabella smooths his jacket. Feels. Trying so hard to pull his dark soul back to the light before he leaves. Feels. Then go. Win this war. Roman holds her face, clinging to his last shred of humanity. Swear you'll be careful. If a shadow moves, call me. Terrified this is their last goodbye. I'll fix us.
I swear.
Isabella fakes a confident smile, but inside, she knows they're doomed. The second he walks out, the penthouse feels like a literal graveyard. For 2 brutal days, the silence is so loud. It's that classic quiet moment right before everything absolutely hits the fan. Feels. Isabella tries to stay calm, lying to her family on the phone to pretend everything's fine. Elena is glued to security cameras, waiting for the devil to show up. On day 3, everything breaks. A single fancy envelope is sitting on the counter. Isabella's hands are literally shaking. That old-world handwriting is pure poison. Vincent Sr. got past every single guard. My dear Isabella, the letter echoes out. Nabaldan's at a cliff. While Kzupskin, he can cling to his romance and plunge us into absolute ruin. Feels. We're looking at a true boss-level villain move right here. The old man offers a totally poisoned deal. Disappear into the night, and your family will never want for anything. Look at this devil's bargain. Your mother's medical debts erased. Feels. Your brother's future bought. Her broken heart. She has to vanish before Roman burns his empire for her. You have 24 hours. Choose wisely, Vincent DeLuca Sr. Isabella stares at the letter until her eyes blur. Feels. The trap just snapped shut on her. Game over. Feels. You and I know a flawless setup when we see it. A bribe wrapped up as a death threat. And the worst part? The old devil is right. Roman's torching his own empire just for her. The guilt breaks her. Shaking, she calls him, and he picks up instantly. Isabella. Feels. What's wrong? Your father got a letter inside. A massive silence drops. What did he say? She cries while reading the threat. The shift is instant. The lover vanishes. The ruthless mob boss wakes up. Don't move. I'm coming home. Roman, no. Feels the counsel. I'm coming home. Feels. If you leave now, you lose everything, she warned, totally shaking. I don't care, Roman fired back. But Isabella cared a lot. The walls were completely closing in on them. I care, Roman, because I refuse to be the reason you wreck your legacy. Isabella, Feels. Look at me. No, you listen to me. That toxic seed his dad planted was fully growing now. Your father's right. I'm a fatal flaw. While I stay here, he holds a knife to your throat. Roman goes cold. What are you saying? This is absolute self-destruction. Feels. I'm saying maybe I should walk away. The silence is so heavy. You can't be serious, he whispered. It's your empire or it's me. There's no other way. Feels. Let us break down this crazy scene together, guys. Isabella whispers she cannot let him choose her. Roman goes ice cold. He tells her it is not her call. She claps back, claiming she loves him too much to let him crash out. Pure toxic loyalty. Roman actually chokes up on the line, but Isabella panics and hangs up. She sits there totally paralyzed. To save his Mafia throne, she decides to completely delete herself from his life. Feels. In her head, breaking his heart is the only way to dodge his ruthless dad. An hour later, Elena catches her zoning out. You are thinking about his deal, Elena. Isabella is stunned. Elena sits down, reading the room perfectly, and asks if she is really doing it. Isabella is shaking and asks for advice. Elena drops some hardcore Mafia wisdom. She says running away might just break Roman all over again. Remember, when Caroline died, it almost put Roman in the dirt. Heels. He built walls until you showed up, Elena says. Leaving saves the mob but ruins his happiness, Isabella cries, terrified the boss will burn everything if she stays. Elena hints Vincent might back down if Roman fights. Predators quit when the price gets too high. Isabella thinks that is a crazy gamble. Elena says do what you must, but tell Roman first. That truth hits Isabella like a literal freight train. Feels. The thought of breaking his heart completely paralyzes her. Her phone goes off. She just stares while he spams her with desperate calls. On the fifth ring, and it picks up. She tells him Isabella is safe but needs time. Roman is freaking out over the speaker. Elena tells him to drop the mob power plays and come home, then hangs up. He is coming back tonight. Isabella looks totally terrified, gasping that she cannot face him yet. Feels. I do not know what to say, Isabella whispers. Figure it out, Elena snaps. A guy like Roman will track you anywhere. Caught in her martyr complex, Isabella makes the worst mistake ever. She actually calls the big bad boss Vincent Sr. He answers fast, like a shark smelling blood. Isabella chokes out that she will take his deal on one condition. He has to back off Roman and let him run the mob. The old monster just laughs in her face. Feels. Negotiating with me? How bold, he mocks. Take it or leave it, Isabella demands. The boss finally agrees to spare his son for her family first. He promises papers tomorrow and asks how fast she can vanish. Gripping her chest in pure heartbreak, she asks for 48 hours. The deal is set. She hangs up, locking in her sacrifice. Packing just one bag, she totally erases herself from the penthouse. Feels. She writes basic goodbye notes to her mom and Marcus. But writing to Roman makes 3 brutal words. I am sorry. Elena finds her crying on the floor by her bags. She pulls her close, asking what she did. Isabella admits she took the deal and leaves in 2 days. Roman is going to absolutely lose his mind. Isabella knows, but claims it is the only way. Lena just gives her a sad look, dropping the truth that the right choice is never easy. Feels. Stick with me here, because this is where it explodes. Elena hugs her while she cries. By 10 p.m., the elevator dings. Heavy footsteps stomp through the penthouse. She hides in the library, but Roman finds her instantly. The dude looks completely wrecked and frantic. He drops straight to his knees right in front of her. Staring into her eyes, he begs for a lie. Tell me you did not call my dad. Yells. Isabella looks away and says she cannot do that. Roman jumps up, pacing like a caged animal. What is the deal? She says she leaves in 2 days and his mob stays untouched. Roman screams to rip the contract up. Cancel it, she refuses, yelling she is doing it to keep him alive. She admits she is his weakness, so she is cutting herself out. He says it is not her call. She fires back. My life, my choice. Yells. Not when it destroys mine, he snaps. Roman grabs her shoulders. You think I can just let you vanish? Then she drops a nuke. You did exactly that after Caroline. That comparison hits us like a rusted knife. She regrets it instantly as Roman recoils like he got punched. He whispers that was different because he had no control. Caroline made her fatal choice, but Isabella is actively choosing to ruin them. He admits he will not survive this. Crying, she says she is leaving because she loves him. Feels. Then stay, he begs, promising to go to war with the whole world for her. But she cries out, asking what happens when his mafia crumbles. She is terrified he will eventually resent her. But she knows losing an empire changes people. She refuses to watch him become a guy he hates. Roman drops his hands, looking like a totally defeated king. The verdict is locked in. She claims she is doing what is right. But honestly, does saving his empire just guarantee his internal destruction? Feels. Look at this tragic setup. They stand inches apart, but emotionally miles away. Roman asks when she leaves, sounding completely dead inside. Thursday morning, she whispers. Now he has a strict deadline to break her defenses. Isabella collapses and crying her walks away. The next day is pure mind games. Roman clears his schedule, brooding in the penthouse like a gargoyle. He shadows her everywhere, trying to suffocate her resolve. Feels. Picture the crazy tension in that dining room. Later, Isabella catches him staring at her open bags. When she insists she must leave her limits, he twists the knife, claiming she acted she wants to go. He loves the troll. He threatens to make her departure absolute hell. She cries that she loves him. Prove it and stay, he demands. She sobs that she cannot. Cannot or will not, he snaps. Her resolve completely shatters. Feels. I cannot watch your dad destroy you, she begs. Look how her fear acts like a noble sacrifice. Roman fires back instantly, claiming he needs her there. She frantically tries logic. His dad is stealing his legacy, and the cartel doubts him. They are cornered, and her exit is the only escape. Roman steps uncomfortably close, weaponizing that intense stare. If you walk away, I will spend my whole life mourning that I could not save you from yourself. Heals. If I stay, you will resent losing your empire, she cries. I do not care about the cartel, he shoots back. A total lie. He admits he craves power but wants her more. That toxic confession wrecks her. Do not say that, she begs. Heals. Because it makes abandoning me harder, he laughs. Good. This is supposed to hurt. She cries. She has no choice. You always have a choice, he counters. The manipulation is flawless. She stands completely paralyzed. So what do you guys think? Heals. Is she dodging a bullet or making a massive mistake? Heals. Guys, picture this setup. It is a total trap and she knows it. Every option ends in absolute tragedy. I am terrified, she whispers. Roman yanks her straight into his chest. I know, but I would rather burn in hell with you than be safe alone. Heals. Talk about intense. They cling to each other for hours. Later that night, the dread fully kicks in. She is wide awake, counting down the minutes until she has to make her great escape, basically ripping her own heart out. 2 a.m. hits. Heals. The door clicks. Boom. Roman is standing there, looking like a literal predator. Heals. He locks eyes with her, completely shattering her defenses. I cannot sleep either, he mutters, walking right in. He sits on her bed, dragging the vibe straight back to day one. You were shaking in my study, he whispers. Heals. You signed that sketchy contract with trembling hands, but the ink never smudged. I am not that tough, she fires back. He leans in close. You are the bravest person I know. Just give in, and we survive this mafia war. Isabella sits up, feels. Hugging her blanket like it can actually protect her from his insane magnetic pull. Heals. Check out this shot as he completely wrecks her logic. What if we fail, she asks. He drops the ultimate tragic romance line. At least we go down fighting. Then he throws his father straight under the bus. I am nothing like him, he swears. Heals. Desperate to distance himself from the mob boss who raised him. He claims he has his whole syndicate and his crazy obsessions under control. Isabella takes a shaky breath. You actually love me? The lighting here is pure perfection, Heals. I have been obsessed with you for weeks, he admits, touching her face. I am done hiding. Heals. I am staying right here, he vows, basically putting their entire future in her hands. She finally starts crying. What if I just break? Boom. He steps right into the savior role, ready to carry all her baggage. He kisses her. Total chaotic. Heals. Desperate energy. Isabella kisses back, dumping all her heavy grief straight into his soul. He pulls back just a bit, resting his forehead on hers. Stay, he pleads. You can tell she desperately wants to give in to this crazy dark fairy tale. Heals. But that impending mob war is too loud. I cannot, she whispers. I am sorry. Heals. Roman pulls away, dropping one single perfect tear. I guess this is it, he mutters. He heads for the door, pausing just for the absolute drama of it all. Then he drops this massive bomb. I would pick you over the entire empire. Heals. And I will keep picking you, even after you walk away. Poof, he is gone. Isabella just collapses on the floor, crying her eyes out until morning. Down in the lobby, the big boss himself, Vincent Sr., slides a buyout across the table. Pure hush money. Heals. A brutal contract promising her family's safety if she vanishes forever. Heals. She signs the papers looking completely dead inside. She drags her bags into the elevator and the silence is just brutal. Roman is a total no-show, which makes this scene hurt even more. She tries to hold it together, desperate for one last glance. Heals. Right as those heavy steel doors slide shut, a crazy blur hits the screen. Roman literally jams his bare hands into the gap, prying the doors apart. Wait, he gasps, completely out of breath. Her heart rate spikes. Please do not make this worse, she begs. Heals. I am not stopping you, he pants, stepping inside as the doors lock. Just one last word. Heals. The elevator drops. 40 floors to go. 2 minutes until she is out of his life. I love you, the Mafia prince confesses, totally calm while crying. Look how insanely high he cranks the stakes here. He is putting her way above his own life and the entire mob. Heals. If you walk away, I will spend the rest of my life hunting you down. Roman, please, she begs. Let me finish, he interrupts, grabbing her face. Leaving does not keep me safe. A world without you is what kills me. Take the cash. Run. Heals, but I will never stop hunting you. Heals. Let us pause here. What do you and I even make of this wild breaking point? The elevator hits the ground floor. Doors open. Isabella is locked onto his eyes, completely brainwashed by this dark destiny vibe. Heals. This is literal madness disguised as some epic love story. Her loyalty just hits 100%. She drops back. I am not leaving, she whispers. Watch his face snap straight from heartbroken to total dark triumph. What? He asks. I am staying, feels. Screw your dad. Let the cartel burn. I am done caring about survival. Boom, he slams her against the wall, kissing her like a crazy person. She kisses back, fully sealing this toxic loyalty. Feels. He pulls back just to catch a breath, needing that final yes. Are you absolutely sure? No, but I am staying, she promises. My dad is going to lose it. Let him, Roman sneers. He laughs, yanking her tight against him. I love you. Love you too, she replies. Feels. They just stand there in the elevator, clinging like it is the apocalypse. Then he hits the up button. We are about to start a literal blood war with my dad, he warns. I know, it is going to be a bloodbath. I know, you could still run, Feels. She looks at this gorgeous, deadly hitman who fully hijacked her brain and smiles. Never, Feels. The doors shut, launching them straight back to the Mafia empire. Back to the chaos. Back to absolute ruin. But in their messed up heads, this is a massive win. Vincent Sr. is chilling up in the penthouse. The guy is sitting on his mob throne, Feels. Swirling whiskey, totally unbothered that she just walked back in. Does not even flinch. Called it, the old boss mutters, putting his drink down. Roman has a real talent for breaking people. I did not force her to do anything. Roman fires back, Feels. Squeezing her hand, she chose this. A brilliantly stupid choice, the patriarch replies, cold as ice. Feels. The camera swings to the big boss, Vincent Sr., standing there with the massive ego of a king. I guess I should have seen this coming. Young romance makes people absolute idiots. This is not about romance, Roman snaps. Feels. This is about you backing off my life. Look at how the old man clenches his jaw here. Every move I made was to protect this Mafia family, to stop you from repeating my blunders. What blunders? Building a criminal empire, Feels. Or ruining everyone you ever cared about just to hold on to it. Watch your mouth, kid. I am not a kid. I am 34. I have been running this entire syndicate for 6 years without you breathing down my neck. I am so done playing the good son, Feels. Vincent Sr. narrows his eyes, the ultimate mob boss ego finally taking a hit. Feels. You actually think you can take me on? I know I can. Then you are way more delusional than I thought. The father steps right into the glare, absolutely vibrating with rage. Listen closely, Roman. This whole empire only exists because I bled for it, Feels. The connections, the cash, all mine, and I can snatch it all right back. Do it, Roman dares him, his voice going crazy low. Call the other families. Let us see who backs a guy who ghosted 6 years ago, hiding out because the stress was just too much. Feels. The old boss looks furious, his giant god complex literally cracking on screen. You have no idea what you are saying. Feels. Oh, really? You dipped because the violence and the paranoia absolutely wrecked you. Almost wrecked me too. But the big difference? I actually found a reason to stay human. Pay attention to Roman's hand right here. He pulls Isabella close, Feels, fully guarding her. You never found that. You just turned into the monster this job required. For one insanely tense second, the dad just stares at his own kid. Then he drops this fake, lifeless laugh. You really think this girl saves you? Fixes you? Feels. I believed the exact same garbage about your mom. We all know how that played out. Isabella feels Roman totally tense up, turning into a brick wall. Keep her out of this. Why? It is the exact same sob story. Feels. Your mom was sweet and soft. She could not handle the psycho I had to become to survive. So she bailed. Took you with her until I forced her to realize you belonged with me. You had to learn how to be a boss, not a target. Feels. She did not run because she was soft. Roman fires back, his cool guy act finally cracking. She ran because you are literal poison, then you brainwashed me against her. Convinced me that caring about people was a death sentence, because it is. Feels. Love gets you killed. Wrong. Being totally isolated is what destroys you. No heart means zero things to fight for, zero reason to live. Roman squeezes Isabella's hand, gripping her like an anchor. She does not make me weak. Feels. She is reminding me why I am even playing this game. The father just stares at them like he is watching a car crash in slow motion, total poker face. You really believe that garbage? I know it. Then you are a dead man walking. Feels. The old boss downs his whiskey, just soaking in the burn. I gave you an escape route. Dump the girl, keep the mob empire, but you picked feelings over power. So now I fix my own mistake. I am calling a massive meeting with all the crime families. Feels. Once I show them how soft you got, I am taking my throne back. When is the meeting? Roman asks, going dead serious. 3 days, neutral territory, the Belmore estate. So, are you and I ready for this absolute mob war? Heels. Every boss will be there. Vincent Senior smirks, hitting the elevator. Bring your little wife. Let the wolves smell the weakness that ruined you. He vanishes. The second those doors shut, Roman pulls Isabella close. Heels, buzzing with the insane adrenaline of turning on his own dad. We just declared war on your blood, she whispers. He will destroy you. I know, she asks if she should run, but Roman locks eyes with her. Do not even think about running, Heels. We are in this together. Isabella nods, locked in. Listen, guys, you and I both know the deal. In this mafia world, falling in love isn't a fairy tale. It is a straight-up death sentence. Heels. What now? We gear up and pray 6 years of loyalty beats my dad's shadow. Look at this setup, bro. For 3 straight days, Roman goes into absolute overdrive, working the phones, desperate to stop his crime family from shattering. Heels. Isabella sees that cold, ruthless boss return, but the dude is cracking. The sheer panic of losing her is totally messing with his head. So what does she do? She levels up. She turns into the exact mob queen this brutal syndicate needs. Heels. Playing the angles and becoming Roman's ultimate shield. Heels. Elena steps up as the real anchor, running the mansion so Isabella doesn't mentally snap before the massive showdown. You are tougher than you look, Elena tells her. I feel like I am breaking, Isabella replies. We all do, but you are still standing, Heels. Fast forward to the night before the absolute climax. Roman catches Isabella zoning out in the dark library, staring at the same page for 20 minutes straight. Can't sleep, he asks. Not really. He sits down, sliding the book out of her hands. Heels. I need to tell you something. Instantly, her stomach drops. Heels. What is it? Tomorrow could be a total bloodbath. The old man might have bought off my crew. Knives could be out. His jaw is clenched so hard it might break. If it goes south, promise me you will run. Take Vincent. Grab the stash and vanish. Do not look back. I am not leaving you, she fires back. Isabella, please. I tried running before, remember? I froze at the udder. Say anything. Roman, Why would tomorrow change in the eye? Because tomorrow my actual life is on the line. Heels. If he wins, he doesn't just take the throne. He torches everything. And you are a massive target. Panic hits her hard. You think he would actually clip me? He will do anything to wipe out his son's supposed weakness. You are the proof. In a basic story, Heels, the girl bails. But plot twist, Isabella's panic totally flips into hardcore defiance. Then we make sure he loses. It is not that simple. Yes, it is. Walk in and show them the boss they picked. You have what that old monster never had. What? Heels. Loyalty from actual respect, not just pure terror. Heels. A crew that actually backs your right here. Pure ride or die energy. And you have proving that love isn't a liability. It is. Roman pulls her in tight. When did you get so insanely fearless? When I fell from a boss who just needed someone in his corner. They hold on to each other, bracing for absolute chaos. 3 hours later, they roll up to the Belmore estate. Isabella grips his hand like a vice. You do not have to go in, Roman whispers. Heels. Just wait in the car. Stay safe. We covered this. I am walking through those doors with you. Isabella, no, you need me in there. We have to flex a united front to show our bond isn't some huge weakness. She squeezes his hand. Heels. Completely locking in her ride or die status. I am not hiding while you fight for our survival. Roman stares at her, totally hyped but also terrified. You know I love you, right? I know. If I do not make it out, you are making it out. But if I drop, Heels, know you literally gave me my soul back. Tears start welling up. Heels. Stop acting like this is game over. I just need to say it. I love you too. But we are leaving here alive, together. Save the dramatic speeches for later. A crazy, genuine smile actually breaks through Roman's tough exterior. Yes, ma'am. Heels. The Belmore mansion is straight up terrifying, a fortress built entirely on dirty mafia money. It is the ultimate boss arena. Black cars pack the driveway. The heavy hitters are here. Roman takes a deep breath, totally shutting off his emotions, Heels, and reboots into the ruthless, untouchable Don. Absolute menace mode. But right before kicking the doors open, he checks Isabella. Heels. Whatever goes down, do not show a single drop of fear. I will not. Stay locked by my side, always. Hand in hand, they march straight into the Viper's nest. All right, guys, let's see how this crazy vendetta actually ends. Heels. The boardroom is absolutely suffocating. 20 hardcore gangsters sitting around a massive table, sizing up the young Don and his girl. Vincent Sr. is chilling at the head like he already secured the win. Roman struts to the opposite end, Heels, keeping his queen right beside him. Bro refuses to even sit. He just stands there, totally staring down every single hitman until the silence is unbearable. Gentlemen, Roman smirks. I hear my dad wants my throne. Heels. Check out this insane power play. Vincent Sr. is standing there, totally feeding off the room's tension. He claims he only handed over the syndicate to test if his kid had that killer instinct. But Roman fires back immediately. The Mafia empire is booming. Cash is flowing. The turf is secure. But the old man doesn't care about the numbers at all. To a boomer boss losing his grip, the money is whatever. Absolute power is the only thing that matters. His dead eyes scan the crew. Eels. The old Don demands pure ruthlessness, acting like love is a literal virus. When Roman brings up his wife, the dad goes on that Isabella and calling her a massive liability. In this dark underworld, catching feelings is basically a death wish. Roman backs up his girl, saying she gives them the perfect cover of a clean, legit business. But his dad just drops this wicked laugh. He told his kid to buy a fake trophy wife, not catch actual feelings.
To him, romance is just weakness.
Eels. The lieutenants are shifting around, staring Isabella down. Roman's voice booms across the room, swearing that being loyal to his wife hasn't made him soft. Then the old man drops the ultimate ultimatum, practically trying to corner him. Eels. He forces Roman to pick right now. Keep the mob boss crown or keep the girl. Take the throne and lose his soul, or take the girl and get whacked. But Roman totally flips the script. He claims both. Eels. He shouts that a real Don can run this entire syndicate without going completely psychotic. Eels. Roman pulls her in, claiming Isabella is his absolute rock. The dad just scoffs, telling the top guys to completely abandon the kid. He asks who would ever follow a boss weak enough to fall in love. The silence is deafening. But then, one of the scarred hitmen steps up and actually sides with Roman. Bro drops the craziest logic. A boss fighting to protect his girl will torch the whole city way faster than some cold, empty Don. Another heavy hitter steps out, bowing to the new king. Eels. The enforcer points out the cash flow is flawless right now. So why mess it up? The old boss absolutely loses it, screaming that real mafia dominance means tossing your humanity in the trash. But Roman sees right through the lie. Eels. He asks if that ruthless mindset is why his dad spent years hiding in the mountains. Boom! The old man's ego cracks. Roman goes for the throat, exposing that total isolation drove his dad insane, just like it wrecked his mom. Eels. Roman swears his bond was his only lifeline. Eels. Watch the insane power shift right here. Roman vows this girl is his anchor. Every rival he drops is just him protecting what is left of his humanity. He throws it right back at his dad, saying the old man went crazy because he literally had no one by his side. The whole room is holding its breath. You can see it click in the washed-up boss's head. He mutters under his breath, then snaps this terrifying glare right at Isabella. He asks if she actually loves his monster of a son.
She doesn't hesitate. Yes.
Eels. The old man puts her straight into the hot seat. Will she actually bleed for the syndicate? He warns her this brutal underworld will chew her to pieces. Bro, Isabella does not even flinch. Not a single shake. Eels. She looks him dead in the eye and swears she would walk through pure hell for Roman. The aging boss stares at her absolute defiance. Slowly, he smirks. Not a nice smile, but that dark respect game recognizes game. He turns to the crew, Eels, admitting he thought his kid was soft. But now he sees a totally lethal obsession. Eels. He mutters that this crazy romance might actually be the ultimate cheat code he never had. Isabel's breath catches. But this toxic dad isn't just going to hand over the keys. He drops a massive ultimatum. Roman keeps the boss title, but there is a catch. Eels. If Isabella slips up even once, they both get wiped out. Roman asks who is making the call. The dad just grins, leaving it up to the bloodthirsty council. It is a massive ticking time bomb, but hey, nobody dies today. Isabella nods. Eels. Roman accepts the insane deal. Eels. Look at this insane opening, guys. The old mafia boss drops a freezing handshake and bounces. No fatherly love here. His hitmen fade out, terrified of their new dawn, while Isabella acts like a total ice queen. But the second those massive doors lock, Eels. Boom. The fake act shatters. They collapse against the wall, literally gasping. Roman grabs her, whispering they won, but Isabella is terrified. She knows the old man just delayed the bloodbath. Roman agrees. Now, Eels, they have to build an absolute fortress to survive. Eels. Roman knows the clock is ticking. His only goal right now is keeping her breathing. They crash in their freezing, massive penthouse, their hands shaking as the adrenaline dumps. They start chugging whiskey just to drown out the dead silence. Eels. She hides in his chest, begging for one tiny spark of warmth in this nightmare. What is our next move, she asks. Roman plots an epic fake happy marriage to trick the entire syndicate. They know his dad wants them to break. Feels. Isabella just laughs, this dark, twisted sound bouncing off the walls. Feels. These quiet moments are wild. We are watching two broken people literally glue themselves back together. Months pass and everything flips. Roman rules the criminal underworld like an absolute boss, but that dead look in his eyes is gone. Feels. He is making morning coffee, actually planning a real future. They play the perfect couple, locking the real monsters outside. Isabella starts flipping her golden cage. She jumps into his legit real estate side hustle, Feels. Washing his dirty mafia money by building totally normal houses for regular families. Feels. It is such a crazy flex, clearing mob guilt by planting gardens. But this hustle gives her purpose. Even Marcus says their top muscles, walks in their hideout and drops his guard. He hears her laughing and admits he never thought a hostage could sound so happy. Isabella just smiles, soaking up the twisted drama of it all. Getting her mom to agree takes weeks of screaming matches. At one crazy dinner, her mom literally points a knife at Roman, swearing to end him if he makes Isabella cry. Feels. Roman does not even flinch. He swears to protect her so intensely that her mom actually drops the knife. Meanwhile, the old mob boss is watching them through a scope. He sends goons to test them, begging to find a weak spot. But Roman acts like a total kingpin, making the city rich. The old man is furious. 6 months into this insane act, Roman goes off script. He comes home early and finds Isabella in the library. She panics, expecting assassins, but he just looks at her, totally in love. Feels. Pay attention here, guys. The plot flips. Isabella sees he is nervous and smiles. Roman hands over a velvet box. She expects a massive dime collar, but nope, it is a cheap brass key. He bought a basic house in her old neighborhood. He looks around their billionaire penthouse and calls it a cage. He is handing her a slice of normal life. Her emotional armor completely shatters, and she starts crying. She pulls him in, desperately wanting this wild fantasy to be real. Feels. He literally splits his life in two. Ruthless mafia boss by night, normal guy making Sunday coffee by day. He actually thought he could carry the stress of the mob and still play the perfect husband. Isabella kisses him like the world is ending. Feels. Confessing a crazy, intense love she never knew she had. Days later, they walk into this basic brick house. For Isabella, stepping through that door was not just moving in. Feels. It was taking her soul back, stealing back the innocence she thought the mob destroyed forever. Feels. The story jumps forward. They keep things super separated. Penthouse for mob hits, brownstone for peace. Slowly, they build this weird family vibe. Marcus treats their place like a safe house, arguing about movies with Roman like a brother. Feels. Isabella's mom visits weekly. She stops being terrified and realizes Roman is not just a killer. He is a broken guy desperate for a win. Even Elena joins the squad. It is wild how surviving the darkest, Feels. Most insane mafia trauma literally glues people together forever. Feels. Roman totally changed. That cold-blooded hitman vibe just vanished and he dropped his guard. He still carries the insane stress of the syndicate, but this normal house keeps him sane. 2 years into their fake marriage, everything shifts. Picture this, a random Tuesday. Sun shining in the kitchen. He watches Isabella cooking, walks up, and straight up asks her to marry him. She reminds him they already signed a mob contract. He just throws the paperwork out the window. Feels. That first wedding was a toxic mob deal. Now, Roman wants to torch that dark history and build something real. This plot twist is massive. He wants to look her in the eyes and promise forever. No survival tactics, no mafia loopholes. Isabella breaks down crying and says yes. A few weeks later, they have a super quiet ceremony. Just their tight squad in a sunny room. 2 massively traumatized survivors deciding to ditch the darkness and actually be happy. Feels. Their vows were totally messy, unpolished, and insanely real. At the party, the heavy mafia vibes finally vanished. Marcus choked up giving a toast, and Elena got wrecked, laughing super loud. Even Isabella's mom ironically thanked the boss who used to give them nightmares. Roman always thought love was a massive weakness, but looking at his new family having a blast, he realized caring about them was not an L. It was his biggest W ever. Feels. Hours later in their room, Isabella asks if he misses the crazy rush of being a brutal kingpin. Roman shuts that down fast. His dad always claimed love makes a guy weak, which is a huge sin in the mob. Roman completely trashes that logic. He tells her having a real reason to live makes him sharper than ever. He looks right at her and drops the truth. Building this quiet family base is way better than ruling a city of dead men and criminals. Feels. He pulls her close and just soaks in the peace. Both of them survived an absolute nightmare, getting played like pawns by the syndicate. But they cracked sticking together was the only way to beat the game. Flash forward 5 years. The sun is setting. Isabella is rocking their little girl, Sophia. Roman walks in from a totally boring, legit office job. The bloodstains of his Mafia past are gone. Now, he is just a regular dad, asking what is for dinner. Feels. Isabella smiles, loving how normal their life is. Obviously, the mob does not just vanish. Vincent Sr. faded into the shadows, always watching. Roman still technically runs things, but he delegated the power, keeping his own hands totally clean. The danger never fully stops, but sharing the load makes it easy. Later on the porch, Isabella brings up their crazy backstory. She asks how he deals with the sick, forced vendetta that shoved them together in the first place. Feels. Roman lets out a massive sigh. He thinks about it constantly. He absolutely that twisted mob contract and his dad's mind games. But he does not exact same way. He admits that without her, he would have become a straight-up monster. She kept him human. On the flip side, surviving his insane world gave her a backbone of steel. So what do you and I take away from this? It's no fairy tale. It is about waking up and choosing to survive together every single day. Feels. Their relationship is completely messed up, but it is exactly what they need to survive this underworld drama. Think about the crazy stakes here. Roman's biggest flex was not fighting the Mafia boss or dodging bullets. Feels. His real gamble was dropping his guard and actually letting himself be happy. And Isabella, thrown right into this mob nightmare, she had to totally level up her survival skills. She realized true courage is not about being fearless. Feels. It is about stepping up even when you are terrified. Forget the fairy tale endings, guys. This is their brutal, hard-earned reality. Feels. They built this safe zone through total sacrifice, refusing to let the Mafia tear them apart. In the middle of an empire built on fear, they became each other's ultimate lifeline. They are completely locked in together now. And honestly, that massive plot twist beats every tragic ending.